Okay. The scripture that I'm coming from today is Psalm 119, verses 57 through 64. And I'm going to read out of two different versions. I have the King James version here, and then I have the Message version. Because the Message is like watching Netflix. I'd be like, what in the world? What's going on? The saints was cutting up in here. But no, like for real, like some of these stories plainly said is very relevant to our time. Like when you let King James say it, you be like, people don't go through that. When you listen to the, I'm saying listen, because it feels like a movie sometimes, or a TV show with episodes. Like read the Message version, y'all. Like anyway, so let's get there. Coming out of Psalms, this is David talking at verse 57, Psalms 119. I'm hoping I can read this without yawning because it's kind of dark in here. I got the itis, and yeah. So bear with me. It says, "Thou art my portion, O Lord. I have said that I would keep thy words. I entreated thy favor with my whole heart. Be merciful unto me according to thy word. I thought on my ways and turned my feet unto thy testimonies. I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments. The bands of the wicked have robbed me, but I have not forgotten thy law. At midnight I will rise to give thanks unto thee because of thy righteous judgments. I am a companion of all them that fear thee, and of them that keep thy precepts. The earth, O Lord, is full of thy mercy. Teach me thy statutes." Okay. Now, for those of you all who read King James, you're like, oh yeah, I know what that means. Okay. So step one is to read it out loud. Okay. We've already talked about how do you get to know somebody. We kind of related it to you getting to know someone, like maybe a romantic relationship, or it could just be a platonic one. And you get along with that person. You know, like when it's really one-on-one, like first it start out as a friend group, right? But then you get along with that person that you really, really want to get to know. And so that's what we're doing right now. We're getting to know him a little bit better. We're going to ask him some questions. He going to answer them. He going to ask us some questions. And hopefully we can answer them, okay? So now let's go to the Message version. So we're still Psalm 119, starting at verse 57. It says, "Because you have satisfied me, God, I promise to do everything you say. I beg you from the bottom of my heart, smile. Be gracious to me just as you promised. When I took a long, careful look at your ways, I got my feet back on the trail you blazed. I was up at once, didn't drag my feet, was quick to follow your orders. The wicked hemmed me in. There was no way out, but not for a minute did I forget your plan for me. I get up in the middle of the night to thank you. Your decisions are so right, so true. I can't wait till morning. I'm a friend and companion of all who fear you, of those committed to living by your rules. Your love, God, fills the earth. Train me to live by your counsel." And let's keep going. So yeah, that's the Message version. And it just brings so much more meaning. You know, when I was studying this, I did not go to the Message version. I just studied it in the way that I know how to do it. And so even when I read it just now, I was reading it for the first time from the Message version. I kind of want this to feel real. So I only went but so far so that I'm not like jumping ahead of myself, because I have a tendency to do that. And I'm also not going to edit these yawns out either, y'all, because I want you to see like it's a part of it. It's a part of it. Like you are doing something that your flesh doesn't want to do. But trust me, your spirit really does. Like, so, you know, you have two parts of yourself, spiritual and natural. And whichever one you feed the most is the one that's going to be the strongest. So if you're feeling like kind of weak, you feel like people are just getting over on you, you know, you keep making mistakes, things like that, you want a stronger sense of discernment or spirit of discernment, then Layla, I'm coming. Go with Olivia, please. They want to be in these videos so bad. We're going to do them together. We actually do a devotional together that I'm trying to, you know, show them even how to read the Bible. But that's the little one. Like, she think the rest of them, they won't come and knock. They know I'm doing something. Here she come. And look, I'm so glad she did that. Like, don't you know you can do the same thing with God? Like, you don't have to come to him in the most humble way I know how. You can, like, but you can go over to him and be like, I need to talk to you. And he's going to be like, okay, because he always got time. All right, so, but anyway, let's get back to it. So here's how I study the Bible. This is not a Bible study. This is a how I study the Bible. So relax, put your communion down. But definitely take out your notebooks. And if you have a pen or a pencil, feel free to write it down. Here's how I do it. It's a good practice to read it out loud, read another version. But I like to use the SOAP method, like I said. So you're going to get a verse of scripture. You're going to observe it. You're going to apply it. And then you're going to pray over it. So right now we are in observation mode. We chose a scripture. And some people might be asking, well, how did you choose that? Well, what I love about the Bible is it has captions, just like TV, right? So you might have one. Let me see if this one has them. Yeah, like right here, you see those words in bold? And that tells you what is there. Like, oh, okay, this is the story of Hosea. Oh, this is, you know, this is what happened here and there. So let me see, because Psalm 119 is pretty long. My particular reason for doing this is because I'm looking for a verse of scripture where someone is trying to get closer to God. They have some things going on in their life. And I needed a verse of scripture to encourage me, because it encourages me to know that I'm not the only one that's been through something. Like, I can get through if I know it's not just me. I don't know what it is. I don't like being isolated. I don't like being picked on. Be like, why are you only bothering me? Like, you know what I'm saying? So David he's in this position. I like 119 because he's talking from his heart a lot. And so the first thing I do is, well, first of all, this is the kind of Bible that I study from. I actually just got this. It's the Keyword Study Bible. It says bringing the original text to life. And the way that you bring a text to life is through knowing what the words mean. So this book, it also has a concordance in it. And the Bible is written in 2 different languages. It can be translated into 2 original languages, Hebrew and Greek, okay? And so there's a concordance in this Bible that tells you the definitions of the words. And by each of the words or phrases, it has a number. And you take that number. So, for example, 559. You go to 559 in whichever testament that the book is in, whether it's in Greek or Hebrew, and then you find out what the word means. I read the text, and then I underline those words that stand out to me. So for this one, verse 57, the one that the Bible underlined for me is have said, or words.